Today we're going to make perfect angel food cake. It is light as a cloud and just perfectly sweetened and just melts in your mouth. I'm going to show you exactly how to make it so that it stays perfectly even and flat and doesn't sink, and you get this nice light as a cloud texture. It is perfect unadorned or with a little powdered sugar or strawberry sauce or blueberry sauce. Even my quick strawberry jam would be delightful, or just maybe like a little scoop of whipped cream. If you're enjoying this video, be sure to hit the subscribe button below and click the bell icon to be notified every time I post a new and delicious recipe. Let's get into it. So, angel food cake, simple-ish, but does require timing. And so for all things that require timing, I like to have my mise-en-place set. I like to have everything just ready for me to roll through the recipe. This also forces me to read the recipe, which, you know, is always helpful. Before we get started, I do want to say one thing about angel food pans. So they are just basically a tube pan with a removable bottom, but they often have these little legs because you're going to turn it upside down, so that way you don't have to put it on a bottle. But I want to make sure that you get one that has like ridges up the side. So this one you can see is non-stick, and it will not make a beautiful angel food cake. You could do all the things right and you will still get a sad, denser cake because there is nothing for the cake to cling to as it rises and sit. You want the cake to sit. So no non-stick tubular pans. This is great for bundt cake, so not great for angel food cake. Set it aside. Rejected. It's okay. She has her purpose. Don't get all judgy on me. All right, so now we have talked about our pan, which we are going to leave ungreased, unadorned as she is. She's ready, which means we're ready. So now, if you wanted to be super extra special, you could sift your dry ingredients first, but I am impatient, and we know this, and we love this about me most of the time. So I'm gonna go ahead and get my egg whites into my bowl. So we've got our egg whites. We are going to take our cream of tartar. This is a lot of cream of tartar. Boom. In. This is going to help stabilize your meringue. Now, the sugar is also going to help stabilize it. So is the salt. All the things are working with us. That's the key with angel food cake. You want all the things working with you and very few things working against you, because sometimes it just works against you no matter what. So turn it on, kind of like medium low. And what we're trying to do here is we're trying to get it to be a little bit foamy. And then also the cream of tartar is going to intersperse amongst the whites. Because right now, if you look in your bowl, it's like a little chunky. And you're probably like, I'm a little concerned. And that's fair, but don't be. Trust. So what you have in your bowl is a mass of egg whites, but it's still a little bit foamy. Like it's kind of foamed up, you don't see chunks of cream of tartar. I'm gonna go ahead and put my salt in. You could have put that in with your cream of tartar and it would have been fine. And then I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to basically slowly start adding my sugar. You don't want to overwhelm it, but you do want to give it a time to dissolve, for the sugar crystals to dissolve in the liquid of the egg whites. So you're just doing a little bit at a time, right? Here I've got cake flour and I've got confectioners sugar. What now? Yes, both. Sift them together. Now, OG recipes call for sifting this like 4 times. I feel like that is excessive. And I'm not here for that. And I know you're not either. So just sift it once. A little bit more. Now I am using extra fine sugar. If you can't find specifically extra fine sugar, sometimes just regular granulated sugar is packaged and it's already extra fine. So just know that, and just be discerning about your granules. If you get a batch of sugar that is like super duper thick, or like, you know, like you can see the granules, or like they're visibly large, then you might want to just buy another thing of sugar and save those for cake or something, a different cake. So keep adding. It's a lot of sugar. So as I've mentioned in my other videos, there is an inverse relationship between the amount of volume in your meringue and the amount of sugar that you add. So the more sugar you add, the less volume you're going to get, but it's going to be more stable. So here, since we're trying to fold in all the things and bake it and have it like stand up and like be proud, we're asking a lot of this meringue. And so we're gonna, we're gonna be generous with our sugar to make sure that it is stable. Now I have, this is very important. Should have mentioned this earlier when I was talking about my pan. But I have preheated my oven to 350 degrees convection. If you do not have convection, you should preheat it to 375. You don't want your angel food cake chilling about, waiting on you and your oven. No. Okay, we did it. We have added all of our sugar. Okay, and now we're going to turn this up. We are going to beat this until stiff peaks. Stiff, I say. Soft peaks, like you'll still get an angel food cake, but if they are not stiff, then you aren't going to get as nice a volume. You're going to get, so a little love will be lost. Not a lot, but a little. So, crank her up. Get those stiff peaks. Just like that. I'm like, wow, here they are. So I don't think they're quite there yet, but I would like to check them. They are super glossy and shiny, and we are very proud of ourselves. But you see that they are not, that is not stiff, that is not soft, that's not ready, but they are close. Because the other thing you don't want to do is over whip your eggs. If they separate and it looks like cottage cheese, start again, my friend. It's okay, they're just eggs. Loving it. Now, before it gets too stiff and over whips, I'm gonna start adding my extracts. I have a decent number of extracts here. I've got vanilla extract, Sabora, and I've got almond extract. Did I just combine those into one? I did. So go ahead and just kind of slowly add that in. You don't want to overwhelm it. And so like as we're adding these, we're of course getting it, it's also still whipping. So this is why you don't want to add this, after you've gotten to firm, stiff peaks, because then you might overwhip your egg whites before you've gotten all of your extracts in. Now, if you do get to there and you're like, oh no, she said, and I did it anyways, that's okay. Just fold them in, okay? Huh. See that, my friends? That is stiff peaks. Do you see what I did? It was kind of drooping, but I just did one little whisk about, and then you've got yourself a, that's a stiff peak. Now, all we have to do is fold together these two things. Easy peasy. Now I'm gonna do my second sift right into my batter. You're like, wow, I see you, I appreciate you. Thank you. So, yeah, I'm just getting it in, without all the extra nonsense. No, you don't wanna, you don't wanna do too much. It's a delicate balance, okay? Because, obviously, the more you fold, the more volume you're going to lose in your cake batter. But, if you put too much flour sugar mixture in there at one time, you're going to get lumps, even if you sifted it 45 times. Yes, them's the breaks. So just, be patient and gentle with your folding. All the love that's going into this cake. It's happening right now. You can see that I am doing my folding technique where I turn my bowl in the opposite direction that I am folding. And that is so that okay, you incorporate it faster without actually having to work any harder. Yep, bringing you all the tips. Now you can see that it has lost some volume. It's kind of become a little bit thicker looking in a way, because obviously we are adding flour sugar to that mixture, and it is, it's becoming cake and not meringue. Because if you just baked meringue, you're gonna get a crispy baked meringue and it's gonna be like pavlova-y, and that's cool, but we're not making that. We're making cake. All right, and that's it. 20 minutes later, my arm was like, meh. It's fine. I'm fine. Just being a whiner. All right. Now this next step is crucial. Grab your pan that is ungreased, unlined, unadorned. Grab your batter, and then you're going to kind of just dollop it in there. I find it easier to kind of move my pan because you want to get it all the way down in the bottom there. You don't want to pour it from too high because you don't want to lose any of that volume that you just worked so hard for. Now, this is crucial. If you bake it like this, it will bake literally just like this. And you will have a funky, maybe that's what you want, cool looking angel food cake. But I would like a lovely, even angel food cake. So I'm going to take my spatula and I am going to wiggle it about. Okay? We are wiggling. Some people tap it on the counter. That terrifies me. We just spent like 30 minutes folding in our dry ingredients. I am not about to tap this thing on any counter. So just go ahead and give yourself a little swirl, and then, I'm just gonna give it a little smooth out, and it's fine. All right, so our cake is ready for the oven, which we have preheated to 350 degrees convection or 375 regs. And we're gonna take this bad boy and we're gonna pop her in, and it's probably gonna bake close to an hour. We're looking for the cracks to be dry, to be only have a few clinging crumbs. That is what we're looking for. And because if you underbake this cake, then it will fall. If you overbake it, it will be dry. So let's ride the line, shall we? All right, anyways, in it goes, boom. And she's out. She baked about just a little under 30 minutes until a cake tester or a skewer comes out with no clinging crumbs, or just a few, particularly a bamboo skewer because it can kind of catch the crumbs a little easier than a metal one. So now, before this has any chance to do anything, we want to gently, if it has feet, you can turn it over on itself like this, and then it will cool like that. Or you can put it on a bottle, or I have this vase that kind of is shaped like a bottle, and I'm just gonna go ahead and gently lower that down, and we're gonna let gravity keep our cake where it is, so as it cools, the crumb will set in this kind of tall shape. If you cool it upside down, it will gradually sink, and it will kind of compress the cake a little bit. So, sadly, we just have to let her cool completely. It'll probably take, it's a light cake and a light pan, so it'll probably only take, an hour or so. But you want to make sure that she is completely cool before you unmold her. All right, it has been a solid 2 hours, and I am ready to unmold my cake. It is completely cool to the touch. There is no hint of warmth. All right. Now I'm going to you could use a paring knife if you like, but we definitely need to free it from the sides of the pan, because that was the whole point, is that we wanted it to, be stuck. So now we have to unstuck it. Now this is why the removable bottom tube pan is very helpful, because it is obviously still stuck to the bottom, but we can run an offset or a knife around it when we get it out. So just go ahead and do the same thing in the center. I find, you want to make sure you hit the bottom. Pick your favorite cake stand of the day. And then we are going to turn her out. Actually, you can just push her out if you want. Voila. Look at her. Okay, and place her down. So we are going to do the same thing with the bottom. I'm going to see if I would rather use a knife. Yeah, this is working just fine. All I'm doing is sliding it down around the bottom edge here and making sure it hits, hey, careful, making sure it hits that center band, if you will, to make sure that I've gotten all the way through. And then we will flip her off. Holy moly! And place her down. Look what we did. Yeah, we did this. So, obviously we've let our cake cool completely in the pan, so it is cool and it is time to try. Now you could adorn this with my blueberry sauce or strawberry sauce or quick strawberry jam, really any jam, caramel sauce, just plain is good with a little dusting of powdered sugar, also delightful. But we're just gonna dig in because I actually like angel food cake all by its lonesome because it's just so light and airy and just, honestly, it's just really magnificent. Oh, look at that. You see that perfect height that we've got there? Whoa. That perfectly level top, which means it didn't sink at all, which means we perfectly baked it. It's got a nice light crumb. Oh, look at her, she's so gorgeous. And since it's fat-free, we can have 2 slices, yes? I thought so. I knew we could be friends. Oh, it's so spongy, you can see it's so soft and light. I like the top part the best though, because it's kind of a little crispy, almost like a meringue, a baked meringue on top. It's light and airy, and the perfect amount of sweet with that crunch from the top, and it just melts in your mouth. And it's perfectly white and beautiful, and it's just waiting to be adorned, or not.